All right, you guys, let's get started. Welcome to the August 2018 Thriver Society monthly coaching call. You guys asked some great questions this month. I'm so excited to get into it. I took a sneak peek at just the first few and already just amazing. So I can't wait to dive into this with you guys. A couple of quick announcements also, but I mostly want to dive right in. So let's start with our coaching call format as we always do. All pre-submitted questions will be answered. So if you submitted a question to me through the Google form, you will get your question answered today. A replay will be available within 48 hours. I reserve the right to skip any question that isn't appropriate or isn't in line with this program. So I don't pretend to know everything. I definitely don't know everything. And sometimes somebody will ask a question that I just don't know the answer to, or somebody will ask a question that's not part of Thriver Society. I know that everybody's up to really awesome things, and I do things beyond just working behind the chair, but sometimes people ask questions that don't pertain to the program, and I want to keep these coaching calls in line with what most people are up to and with what we're coaching to in Thrivers. So every once in a while, I have to do a skip. I don't have the ability to pull up your social media, website, or logos on this call, so a full business analysis isn't available. That being said, if you are a Thriver Society alumni, included for you is an annual website review and social media review. And what's great is those who are not alumni can still watch those. So if you're an alumni, you already know this. You have a link where you get to sign up and submit your Instagram and your Facebook and your website to me. I take a look, I walk through it, I give you suggestions, all that good stuff. Well, those of you who are not yet alumni and are in a couple of our newer classes can still watch those replays. So if you head to thriversociety.com/login and go to the website and social media reviews, replays, you will see hours of content of me picking through stylists and salon owners' websites, Instagrams, Facebook. It sounds like, oh, well, why would I want to see somebody else's website or Instagram picked through? For a lot of our members, it's their favorite part of the course. They're like, forget the modules, I'll just take that. There's so much value in watching me critique somebody else's business. So if you haven't done that yet, dive in. It's such an awesome resource. So those are available to you. A few reminders you can't possibly be behind. This is a personal journey, and we're all working adults, and life happens, and nobody's perfect. And wherever you're at in the course is exactly where you're supposed to be. The other thing I want to remind you is that if you've made any progress in your business, if your business is even a tiny bit better today than it was when you first joined, you're winning. That's a win, man. All we're trying to do is be better than we were yesterday. The key to success with this program is to take your time and to go in order. I did not make up the order of these modules randomly. There was a time when the order of the modules was actually different, and it shifted twice in order to be more effective. Without fail, every single year somebody messages me and says, Britt, I screwed up. I didn't do the modules in order, and now I have to start back at the beginning. Please know that the system works the way that's laid out. Don't get tempted to go further ahead. Stay in order. If you have not figured out your logo and target market yet, you should not be worried about Facebook or Instagram. I can't coach you to that until you've done the preliminary work. And my favorite quote of all time, what got you here won't get you there. So the efforts you've put in, the marketing you've done, the relationships you have in your life, the people that you've hired to work in your salon, all of those efforts have brought you to where you are right this moment today. If you want to make more money, have more free time, market more effectively, you have to do things differently. So be open-minded and ready to change. A couple of Thriver Society changes coming. The September 2018 issue will be the last issue of our magazine. The magazine has been amazing. It's been a passion project of mine. I first launched it a year ago as a Thriver Society bonus. I wanted a way to showcase amazing Thrivers and what they were doing and share their stories and inspire you all, and it's absolutely done that. Last month, I sent out a survey to all of our Thriver Society members. To those of you who completed it, thank you so much. If you'd still like to complete it, you can search your inbox for Britt Siva, and that survey link will come up. You can give me your feedback. But something that we realized is that the magazine format isn't maybe the most effective format. Based on your guys' feedback, we're going to head a different direction. So you're still going to hear other amazing Thriver stories, but we're going to do it in an interesting and more effective way. So get super duper excited about that. I definitely am. But this September issue of the magazine will be the last one published. And then if you want to see individual articles from previous magazines, we are going to create a portal for that. So it's going to be an awesome education portal. You're not going to lose anything. You've already been released, but the magazine was a free bonus that we're not going to continue moving forward. The entire Thriver Society course will be updated in October of 2018. If you're a newer Thriver, you probably don't know this yet, but I update the course a couple of times a year at minimum. I don't re-record every single lesson in every single module. There's over 80 lessons. But the ones that do need to be updated, generally speaking, the social media ones, and there's a couple others this season, will be updated. So those updates are releasing soon. I'm also launching 2 new modules in October of 2018. So if you're a monthly Thriver, they'll be tacked on to the end of your membership. If you're an annual Thriver, you'll get the immediate access. And I'm calling them modules. They may end up being independent courses that you're going to get access to because they're really freaking awesome and there's lots of great information. So we'll see. Either way, being here in Thriver Society gets you access to both of those. So get excited. Lots of great things coming. Okay, so let's dive into the Q&A for the season, for the month. Okay, so first we have Sunny. Sunny says, hey Britt, we've recently gone through a change at our salon staff. Most of our senior staff have moved on in their careers. They're 10 to 16 years with the company. We're a specialized salon and it's been such a challenge trying to hire new staff. We do get into the schools in the area, but nothing really seems to bite, or it's just not a good fit for our culture. Any advice on recruiting? Yes, lots of advice. So I too spoke at beauty schools and that was huge for me. That was how we grew the culture that we grew. I will say when I spoke at beauty schools, every like school educator, director, whatever who saw me was like, you speak differently than anybody who comes to speak here. And I think that is why I attracted literally the best of the best to come work for us. I didn't go in and show haircuts. I didn't go in and do color. I spoke to them like I speak to you guys. I gave the real truth. I talked about what it's like to be in our salon, what it's like to build a clientele. I was funny. I brought prizes. I made my presentation a blast. Like the schools were dying to get me in there because I offered something different and entertaining on a different level that was very human and relatable. So if you want to go to a beauty school, you better find a way to stand out. You can't do what all the other salons are doing. You have to do something different. If you want to attract the best of the best, you want to be the cool guy. You want to be the people that stylists are dying to work for. And listen, when I joined the industry in 2007, it was super cool to work at salons that were winning NAHA awards and were very elegant and were very established. Not all the stylists today find that to be super cool. So I know a lot of salon owners go in and they're like, well, we're expertly trained and we won all of these awards. But you have to think about what today's brand new stylist in the industry is going to care about. They don't know what NAHA is. They don't understand, all of these things that we consider to be huge accomplishments. Redken Elite. That means nothing to a brand newly licensed cosmetologist. They don't get it. So you have to relate to them on their level and be appealing on their level. So think about what that would be. Also, I did take a look at your social media just to see the story that it was telling. I just want to show you guys because I think it would be helpful to everybody. So this is Sunny's Facebook page for the salon. So remember, if I'm a new stylist who is trying to decide where to work, I want to work at a spot where I'm going to be embraced, where the culture is amazing, where I'm going to be able to build and grow and have a good time. That's what today's young stylist is looking for. So when I look at your page, the salon is certainly beautiful, but then I see things like this. Congratulations on 1 year with MDS, Ashley Malone. Puppies. 135 5-star reviews, which is great. So clients like you. Beautiful brides. More brides. Before and after. Puppies. Another one. Congratulations on 2 years with MDS, Jax. It doesn't give me the warm fuzzies like, oh my gosh, this is a salon where my career is going to thrive. If it's my anniversary, if I'm Jax, you need to be showing my picture. You need to say, Jax, congratulations on 2 years with MDS. You have changed this salon for the better. We love your love of gummy bears, your knowledge of celebrity gossip, and the way that you make your clients feel so loved. Your knowledge of balayage is second to none. We love your jokes on a daily basis. Celebrate, Jax. Like, this honestly doesn't make me feel super celebrated. Confession, I might as well have opened a bakery when I was running my salon because I made homemade birthday cakes, anniversary cakes, gifts. I went above and beyond for my staff. It was like they were my babies. And we didn't have a friendship. Our dynamic was definitely leader, stylist. I fired lots of them, but when we were celebrating them, man, did I celebrate them. I made them feel so loved. And then when I did an anniversary celebration, it was a beautiful professional headshot of the stylist. Then later in the day, it was a picture of them with their cake. Then a testimonial about what clients say about this person, like they were celebrated to the moon and back. That's how you need to celebrate your team, because today's young stylists, or today's even senior stylists, want to work at a place where there's a lot of culture and where they are embraced. If that's not happening, no one's going to want to work for you. The culture is just so important to today's stylist. So your work is beautiful, your reputation is great, the culture is maybe not there quite yet. So I want you to keep showing these before and afters, definitely, but more team vibe, more energy, more culture. That's how you're going to grow your team and attract more stylists. The other thing is I took a peek at your Instagram, and your last post on Instagram was July 4th. So it's been almost 8 weeks. Social media is so important in the eyes of today's stylists. So I would really focus on social media. The other thing is I looked at your website as well. And when I look at the overall salon page, I wouldn't use social media shots on your homepage. It's one of the things I talk about in the website module. You want to use professional images. So either stage a professional shoot so that these look more candid, or use stock images in the meantime. But social media shots on a website feel a little bit more amateur than today's stylist is hoping to appear online. So having more professional images will help. This is a screenshot of their Instagram, so you can see it's beautiful. What you do on Instagram is great, but you have to stay super duper consistent and make sure that you're maintaining it on a daily basis. Then when I come here to education, innovative leaders, we're seeking out constant education in the best of the industry. Okay, but what if I'm a stylist who wants to come work for you? Like, where do I find out how to do that? Team style survey? It just doesn't feel like you're trying to win me over as a new stylist. So we're in such a funny position now as salon owners, because we're not just trying to appeal to clients, we're also trying to appeal to prospective new clients. So prospective new clients. So really keep that in mind when you're doing your website and your social media. I think that's going to make a huge, huge shift for you. So like I said, I don't pull up everybody's website and social media on here, but I thought looking at hers would be really beneficial to everybody. So I hope you all got a little bit of a takeaway from there. Shanae says, hi Britt, I listened to a question about clients being booked 12 weeks out and it being time for a price increase. So first of all, if you're booked 3 to 4 weeks out and you're seeing 5 to 6 new referrals a month, it's time for a price increase. If you've waited until you're booked out 12 weeks, you've waited too long. Then we say, I'm in the same boat, but I'm wondering if I should only book my clients 1 or 2 appointments out at a time, or still book them out as many as they want. I find that most of my clients want me to book them out as far as possible. I have 0 openings through the end of September and very few through the holidays. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. You need a price increase 5 months ago. You need a price increase so bad. Yes, you let your clients book out as far as they want to. Let them book out until 2025 if that's what they want to do, but you need to create breathing room in your schedule. Your demand is too high to meet the needs. So your schedule is maxed out. You are setting yourself up for crash and burn, which I don't want to happen. You need to raise your prices, and likely aggressively, probably like $10. I'd like to see your cuts go up by $10 and maybe your color by 5. Take a look at the chart and kind of see where you land and see what's best. But if you're pre-booked 12 weeks out, you need a major increase, and a thinning would do you some good. So run, don't walk, and make sure that you get those prices up. Okay, Elizabeth said, at least 80% of my clients pre-book. Awesome. So I made the online booking cards, but so far I've only been giving them to people who have not pre-booked. The problem is I'm noticing I'm still getting texts and calls to move their appointments or tell them when it is. So can I maybe say when they pre-book to let them know to go online to change it? And if you need help, email me. I'm no longer accepting texts. Yes, you can totally say that. What you can do as well is create like a pre-booking card. So we already have the online booking cards, which in my opinion, you can actually still be using to your pre-booked guests. You'll just give it to them the same. Or you can create a pre-book card that says, thank you so much for pre-booking. Should you need to make any changes, please head to brittsiva.com/appointments. And from there, you'll be able to log in and shift your appointment anywhere that you'd like. That's what the card needs to say. And what you verbally say to your guest is, awesome, we have you confirmed for November 19th. Should you need to make any changes or move this appointment, you can do so yourself 24 hours a day. Here's my online booking system access account. Once you log in there, you'll be able to shift your appointment around. Just so you know, I don't do any scheduling via text or call. So this card is the key to rescheduling your appointment. Just make it very clear. But so long as you're using those physical cards, and like I said, you can create a separate card for those who have pre-booked if you want to have different verbiage, or you can still just be giving them the online booking cards and say, you don't need specific directions, you're already on my books, but should you need to change anything, you'll still have to do so through my online booking system. It's okay to kind of train your entire clientele to use that system. Absolutely. Anna says, hey, Britt, sorry if this kind of question is not allowed. All questions are allowed. It's okay. To say that I'm lost is an understatement. I love listening to all of your material. It's like you're reading my mind most of the time. When doing Thrivers and listening to the podcast, I come alive and my passion seems like it can be a reality. Basically, for the last 4 years since being licensed, I've been behind the chair for a total of 1.5, so my experience is not high. This past year, I was in the salon full-time, starting off as an assistant, like I wanted, then getting my chair. However, being a single parent, money is an issue. I was living, getting paid, and ready for the next check the next day. So she's living paycheck to paycheck. Right after joining Thrivers, I left the salon. I've been gone for 2 months and I hate sitting at a desk all day. Girlfriend, why did you leave? The only thing that makes it better is the pay. I'm almost 30 years old with a 10-year-old son living with my parents, kind of getting the scoot out. I don't have the 1 to 2 years time to build a clientele. Girl, it doesn't take 1 to 2 years to build a clientele. I want to be behind the chair so bad, so do it. I feel like I have to wait until my son is older to get back into the salon or work backwards, working Saturdays and weekends to go from there. I know I can't be the only one in this situation. Any advice on being a clientele situation? Okay. So this is the funny thing, and I mean this in the most loving way. If I ask Thrivers, if I said I'm doing a poll, who thinks they're in a unique situation when it comes to building their clientele? 2,600 hands are going to go up. Everybody thinks they're in a unique situation. We are all fighting for the same thing. We have kids, we have spouses, we have bills to pay. We all are in over our heads when we start to try and build a clientele, and it's tough, which is literally why I created Thriver Society. You have been given the gift of a roadmap to building clientele. If I were you, I would get back behind that chair tomorrow. If possible, the schedule I would work would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You are going to build like gangbusters working that schedule. If you can't, then you work whatever schedule you can build, but you work your, pardon my French, ass off to build that clientele. Zero excuses. If you told yourself, okay, for the next 4 months, I'm going to do nothing but work my butt off to build a clientele, you would do it. I promise you would. So the thing of it is when you're building a clientele, it's going to sacrifice. So when I was building my clientele, I had how old was she? 3-year-old, I think. And I was in the same boat. I was with my boyfriend, who's now my husband. We were not married at the time, and my family has never financially supported me. So I was fully on my own, getting paid minimum wage with the pressure to make something amazing happen. I didn't see my friends. I didn't go out to dinner. I worked my ass off to build a clientele, and man, did I do so. Every Monday when my daughter was in school, I was out working my tail off to market myself. This was the days before social media, so I had to pound the pavement. Now it's so much easier. You can use Thriver Society to build a killer website, work on your social media presence, and get that funnel up and running. When you don't have a client in the salon, you're not sitting there reading a People magazine or feeling sad or watching funny videos. You're working your booty off to build that clientele. You can do this. You're given the gift of a step-by-step roadmap to make this happen, and the gift of thousands of other stylists here with you doing the same thing who you can lean on as a resource. You're given so much inspiration. Take it. What you need to do is make the decision for yourself that this is the year everything changes. You have to say, I'm not going to go back to the desk job. I'm going to do whatever it takes to build my clientele. Listen, when I was working to build my coaching business and my clientele, I didn't sleep much at all. I was up late into the early morning hours, probably 3 a.m. most of the time, working, because that's what I had to do. If you want this bad enough, make it freaking happen. You are being served a roadmap on a silver platter. I'm here for you. The other Thrivers are here for you. You need to be there for yourself, committed to making this program work for you, and you can do it 100%. Seema says, How have you been? This is Seema Doobie. I have a salon in Leesburg, Virginia. I've been following you and doing Thrivers for the past 3 months. I want to give you a brief description about myself and the salon. Okay, so I've read through this description. She actually emailed my team first and then was referred to submit here. So I'm going to give you guys the summary. So she has a very established salon. It's been there for almost a decade. She's been in this country for 30 years-ish. She has a couple of kids who work in the salon with her, very, very established. It's a family-owned business. It's built up a great reputation. They have a really expansive retail line. She feels kind of like she's doing everything right. However, her sales are down. She feels like she needs direction. She's worked on her website, but it's maybe not hitting all the marks. She wants some feedback from me. She wants me to evaluate her website and social media, but because I only do that for those who are on the alumni level, what I'm going to do is offer a little bit more general feedback. I also want to talk about that a little bit. Do you guys know why I only offer website and social media analysis for those in the alumni level? It's not to be a jerk, and it's not because I don't want to help you all so much on an individual level. It's because you're not ready. If I went through and looked at the social media and websites of everybody in their first year of Thrivers, I would be like a broken record saying, go back to the Instagram module of Thrivers, go back to the Facebook module of Thrivers, go back to the website module of Thrivers. Everything you need is in there. So until you've gone all the way through Thrivers Society, you have built your target market, you've made your updated logo, which you guys, if you're hesitant on changing your logo, you have to get over that. The reason I put that at the beginning of the course is you will live or die by the decisions you make around your brand. Like, I just can't weigh into that heavily enough. I know you've spent a lot of money on doing signage outside your salon. I know that you spent money to do brochures before. Remember what I said in the beginning of this class? What got you here won't get you there. All the stuff you have been doing brought you to the point you are now when you said, oh my gosh, I need a lifeline. Please, Thrivers, help me. All those previous efforts got you to that point. I'm trying to take you to the next level. So, Seema, a rebrand might be the very first thing you need. Then I want you to go and look at the website module of Thrivers. If you said you've only been in for 3 months, you haven't even gotten to the website module yet. I want you to look at that website module. I also want you to go and look at the website reviews. I'm telling you, if you watch me pick apart 20 websites from other Thrivers, your mind will be blown. You'll know exactly what to do on your own website. You will be so incredibly inspired. You're going to know exactly what direction to go in, and you're going to feel like you have goals to get there. I want you to go through the Instagram module. I want you to go through the Facebook module. But until you have that branding in place, none of that will matter. So I want you to go through the modules in order. I want you to look at those website and social media reviews that I've done for our more senior members who are more established and have already put in the work and done the year of blood, sweat, and tears. Look how far they've come. You're going to be so incredibly motivated, and you're going to have a lot of insight as far as what to do for your own business as well. So that's where I want you to start with that. Okay, Seema's email again. Erin says, hi, Erin. Erin says, would you go through the full consultation questionnaire each time you see an existing guest? And would you also break down the cost per service at every appointment prior to starting? I feel like this might be more just for new clients or an existing client who wants a big change, but I wasn't sure of your take on it. Totally agreed. I think the full consultation questionnaire is very good for first-time guests always, and if somebody wants a big change. The phrase that I do want you all to start incorporating into your consultation is, so glad to have you back here. How has your color been feeling? How has it faded for you? Here it is, guys. Are your hair goals the same today as they were last time we spoke? Oh my gosh. Just write that down. Today's the day. You heard Britt Siva say it. Are your hair goals the same today as they were last time we spoke? That gives them permission to open up the door to bigger conversation. It gives them permission to say, yep, I'm feeling happy. Everything's the same. Do you know what the kiss of death is in your business? When you start seeing a guest walk in the door, you seat them at your chair and you say, everything's feeling good, same old, or you say, Your color's looking great. I'll go ahead and mix it in the back. And you start to make assumptions about what your client wants. They will leave you. Maybe 1, 2, 3 more visits, they're out the door. Today's client doesn't want that. That key phrase, are your hair goals the same today as they were last time we met, is so powerful. And just incorporating that into your mini consultation you have with each guest you see, done. Just make sure that you're touching base and making sure that you're still meeting all their needs. You're good to go. Wendy says, Britt, please help. I have 2 clients who still don't always charge full price. They are both close friends of mine who have very short hair, and somehow I can't bring myself to charge the right price for their double processed fashion colors. Oh, Wendy. I was bundling and discounting so heavily for these 2 that I'm afraid to approach them with my new pricing. I unbundled in May, already increased what they pay, but I'm still charging them for a single process. What language can I use to explain that from now on their color will cost more when we lighten their roots? This is 100% an issue of my own insecurity. Thank you so much for all that you do. Wendy, I get it, but you are like preaching to the choir because we have all struggled with this, so you're so not alone. So here's the thing. You're running a business. You're not just doing hair for kicks and giggles, right? This is how you make your livelihood. So your friends need to understand that. And I know that that's hard, but the time has come. So what I would do is say, Alyssa, we have to have a little moment. I have been doing your hair for 6 years and it has been a blast. I am so thankful that I've been on this journey with you. I'm at a place in my business right now where my time here is limited. My hours are in demand. And I need all of my time in the salon to be reserved for full paying clientele so that I can continue to support my family. Can you see how when I say it like that, it's really difficult to argue with? My goal is to support my family. So say, I'm going to be real with you. I've been charging you half price for years. And moving forward, starting at your next appointment, I do have to charge you full price. So it's going to be $260 next time instead of $140. That's a huge jump for her, but you're giving her a heads up. And she's either going to say, girl, I get it. You're worth it. I'll pay. Or she's going to say, oh my gosh, I don't think I can afford that. What if we just do it at your house? And to that, you're going to say, oh my gosh, say my days of doing hair in the kitchen are long gone. You know, this is my job. And as much as I love doing hair, when I go home, I just want to kick it with the kids and drink a glass of wine. Like, that's easy enough to understand. And if she's like, well, I'll bring the wine and we'll still do my hair, say, you know, I keep my professional job here in the salon. And when I'm at home, I've kind of retired my shears. So I'd love to continue doing your hair, but it is going to be X dollars. If she can't respect that, she's not a great friend. Can I tell you? My best friend, if I told her that I was going to charge $500 to do her hair, she would pay it and still bring the wine. Okay? And it's not because she's loaded, it's because she's not. It's because she respects me. Or she'd say, girl, you're nuts. I'm going to pay somebody else to do it. And I would have to understand that too. But a good friend isn't going to abuse your time. And it's funny because a lot of our clients will call us friends until we want to charge them full price, and suddenly we're not friends because it wasn't really a friendship. You were the hookup. So listen back to this, make note of my words, and charge your worth. It's super important. Okay, Erin says, would you follow up with a potential new guest that subscribed to your website but never made an appointment? If so, how long would you wait to contact them and what would you say? Abso-freaking-lutely. So do you guys know what Erin means? If you have a subscribe box on your website and somebody subscribes but hasn't booked an appointment yet, you want to follow up with them. If you go to my website and you subscribe, I walk you through an entire welcome sequence. You get an email from me tomorrow that says, it's so nice to meet you. Here are a few of my educational resources. And I link to my YouTube and my Facebook and my podcast and all these things. Then a couple days later, I say, so that was a lot of information. How about I also send you just my top 5 educational pieces of all time? Great, another tool for you. Then a few days later, I say, this is my new podcast. I just launched it this week. Here it is if it's of interest to you. So I am nurturing the relationship so that you can decide if you like me or hate me or can't stand the sound of my voice or whatever. I am trying to introduce myself to you virtually so we can decide if we're a good fit. You should do the same thing. If somebody subscribes to your website but didn't make an appointment, within 48 hours, I'd be sending them an email that said, Hey Nadine, I saw that you met me through my website. So nice to meet you. Should you ever be interested in coming in for a consultation, or if you're looking for a new stylist, I am happy to answer any questions that you may have. No pressure at all. Just know that my door is open and I really look forward to meeting with you. Do you know how slick that would look? So, Erin, to answer your question, heck yes. Don't wait too long, because if somebody's looking on your website and they've subscribed, they're interested and they just need that final push to push them over. Katie says, my question is regarding price increases. I've recently started working at a higher end salon and I've never been busier. I know I should have already started talking price increases with my clients, but of course I haven't. I get all sweaty talking about prices with them, girl, me too. My biggest issue after going through the pricing module is my clients' prices are all over the place, so I feel like a station talker might not be great because some clients are exactly where they need to be and some are not. Do you recommend just telling them about the increase at one visit and raising it the next, or doing another strategy? So I talk about this in the last video of the pricing module. I tell you guys exactly how to execute price increases, so go back and listen to that. What I say in that video is I don't like station talkers. It's my least favorite strategy. You can't be sure who has read it, who has skipped it. Some people are offended by it. They're like, oh, you couldn't even tell me to my face. You just want me to read about it. I'm that client. I'd be annoyed, to be totally honest. I think that's part of why I'm so against it. I think it's old school, and I don't think it's what today's consumer expects. You can't announce it on social media. There's a lot of things we have to be careful about with price. I don't like station talkers. Instead, I would just verbally tell them. You can say, hey, the names I come up with. Hey, Nicole, just so you know, I've had a little price increase. Today you're still going to pay $180 like you've been paying, but next time you come in, it's going to be $195. See how when I say that, it's not a big deal. I don't get all awkward and weird. I don't have to get sweaty. You don't have to feel uncomfortable. I, Nicole, can choose to come in and pay you $195 next time, or I can wander. That's my choice. But you've set it up as a no biggie, right? If instead I said, hey, Nicole, you've been seeing me for a long time, and if it's okay, so I know your prices have been the same for a while, but it's going to be $15 more next time. So what that breaks down to is the cut is $5 more, and can you see how the more I talk about it, the weirder it gets? When you're checking out, just say, oh, and I have had a price increase. Today it's still going to be $180, but next time you come in, it's going to be $195. And then if they ask for more information, you can tell them more information, but that's exactly how I'd roll it out. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and go back and listen to that pricing module if you need more verbiage. That's Katie's question again. Oh, Katie, you really wanted that question answered. It came through 3 times. Okay, Michelle says, hey, Britt, first of all, I love you. Thank you so much for doing Thrivers. This journey has been amazing. Lots of things going on since I started Thrivers. Just since I published my website, I've been doing pictures, etc. I've gotten so many referrals and new clients who have found me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You're welcome, babe. Little backstory, I just had an off day. I'm not perfect, but who is? I was just diagnosed with a rare disorder, and a client wanted bleach blonde platinum hair from, of course, you guessed it, black box dye. One of my coworkers knew the client and was upset that she didn't go to her. I believe this is where and why the coworker is being a bully about the whole situation. Well, of course, I could only get her to a pretty golden blonde, and everything was great when she left. I guess my coworker and the client were later talking, and she wants to go blonder, so the client called back to talk to me. I stayed 4 hours later to make her blonder, but still couldn't get her as platinum as she wanted without frying her hair off. I offered to give her a gift card to make her happy. She declined. I gave her a free hair product to make her happy. I guess she's still unhappy, and now going to the coworker saying that the quality of my work isn't in line with my prices. I told everyone that I'm not perfect, but by God, I did my best to make her blonde and even tried giving her product and a gift card to make it right. So now the salon atmosphere is like stepping on tiptoes. My question is, I'm a booth renter. I don't have contracts with the owner, but the 3 girls I'm working with are all jealous of me. They see the Thrivers changes I've been making and are mad and bullying me because I raised my prices August 1st. They want me to lower them back and be closer to their prices. I've explained to them that I'm not doing it to make them feel worse or bad. I'm doing it to support my own business and my family as well. I'm the breadwinner. I'm full-time. My rent is almost double what the other girls pay. My prices should reflect that. Listen, girlfriend, you don't have to justify your prices to anybody. That's a side note. It's none of their business, and it's very ticky-tacky that they have anything to say about your prices at all. That's cuckoo crazy. Okay, they have made, excuse me. They've made it so that I can't make any phone calls, no bridal parties to book, take me on the salon Facebook page as an administrator. So if a client messages me, I don't even see it. Because of my prices, we were supposed to have a salon meeting where everyone could express their opinion, but of course it hasn't happened yet. One of the girls is being a bully, telling me the quality of my work isn't what I'm charging for. Okay, listen, I'm not even going to read any further. This situation is out of control. The fact that the owner is even entertaining the idea that there's going to be a meeting about how people feel about your prices is bananas. That is insanity. You need to leave. I'm sorry. I wish there was I wish I had different advice where I'm like, well, let's have a sit down with your owner and let's talk to these ladies. We've gone way too far. I agree. I think that the women who are there are jealous of you, which is so unfortunate, but it's not uncommon. What happens is when we become thrivers, become part of the elite 5%, right? But that means that the other 95% are never going to understand the place that we're coming from. And there's always going to be that jealousy and that misunderstanding and that why does she get to charge more and all of those kind of irrational things that we as humans just think up. It's not your problem. And if the owner isn't supporting you in that, you have to go. You've outgrown the place and space. If the owner of your salon was coming and giving this to me, I would tell her to let you go. If she was coming in and saying, and you wouldn't believe this lady, and we've had to take her off our Facebook page, and she thinks she can just raise her prices and do whatever she wants, I would tell your owner to let you go because you're not a match. So you have my blessing. It's time to move on, and I'm excited for you as you step into your next chapter. Okay, Rebecca says, I need some advice regarding a new client's and online booking. I've been getting a handful of emails recently from new clients trying to book with me through email. My response usually goes like this. Hi, it's nice to meet you. The best way to book online is at vagaro.com/Rebecca for hair. That way you can see exactly what I have available and what works with your schedule. Please let me know if you have any further questions or trouble using the site. I look forward to meeting with you. These people are not booking for some reason. I feel like this is very clear and straightforward. I know we are supposed to encourage online booking, but should I be doing it over the phone or email and then tell them in the future to book online? Or is there a different way I can word this? On a side note, I do require a credit card to book. I don't think that's the issue. So I disagree. I do think requiring a credit card to book could be an issue. I would not book if you asked for my credit card. I'm really particular about where I submit my credit card. And it would turn me off. Also, just as another side note, it would be illegal for you to make a charge to that card. I know there are some online booking systems who are like, and we'll automatically charge for you. That's not legal. So if the client decided to call their bank and dispute that charge, the client would win every time. And the more and more that happens, it's going to be a problem for you. So I'd skip the credit card, to be totally honest with you. The other thing too is if you're directing them to their Vagaro page, this isn't a website. So remember, we're trying to nurture the relationship and get a client comfortable with us before we ask them to book online. So here's the new verbiage. Hi, it's nice to meet you. I would love to introduce you to my business. The first step is to head to my new guest page on my website, britsiva.com/welcome. There I'll walk you through exactly what you can come to expect in the new guest visit. I have a service menu where you can choose the services that are best for you, and then I'll walk you through my online booking system. It's like you're virtually holding their hand. So instead of saying, hi, nice to meet you, here's how you book, you say, hi, nice to meet you. Let's get to know each other. That is what makes a difference, and it's why in Thrivers I coach to having that new guest page. So let me show you something. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is my girl Carolyn. Carolyn and I used to work together, but now she's a Thriver. So this is her new clients page. Let me show you. We were just going over this. This is very perfect. This is her website, and this is her new guest page. Welcome. Here's her salon. Here's what you can expect at your first visit with me. Want to see my menu and prices? Here it is. Have some questions to ask? Send them to me. Can you see how this is a little bit more warm, friendly, and inviting than, hi, nice to meet you. Go ahead and book your appointment and leave me your credit card. It doesn't have, and listen, I know that's not what I'm totally simplifying. This verbiage is fantastic, but if she's looking at your page versus Carolyn's, can you see how it just has a really different feel to it? So I would build out that new client booking page and I would redirect there instead. I promise it's going to turn that result around for sure, for sure. Sunny says, at our salon, we run a retail promotion every month. Once a quarter, we will run a service promotion in addition. Do you think that doing a promotion every month is too much? I don't. We used to do monthly promotions in the salon and then sometimes even more often. What you have to remember is a guest is only going to see you every 6 to 8 weeks. So they're only going to see 4, 6 promotions a year, something like that, based on how many visits that they come in for. So if it doesn't feel like too much to you, it's fine. If it does feel like too much to you, doing something every 8 weeks works as well. So it's more about what works for you versus what is too much. Too much is something that only you could decide. Mashana says, how do I get my Pinterest to come up on SEO? I'm not sure if it's the right way to say it. I noticed on your class, 7 Days to a Perfect Website, you cited Brittany Sensinghair. I love Brittany as an example of good SEO. Her website, social media, and Pinterest came up when you searched for her. When I search myself on SEO, it's decent. I see my Facebook profile, my business page, website coming soon, and Yelp. I'd like to have my Pinterest come up. Can you explain how to do this? So, I said in the beginning of this call, I don't coach to things I don't know about, and I don't coach to Pinterest. It's not something I believe in. I've taken 3 courses on Pinterest in hopes that I could teach you guys Pinterest, and it would going to be this great new tool you guys could use to build your clientele, and it's just not. Pinterest has openly said for itself that it's not great for local small business optimization and search. So those aren't my words. That's a Pinterest thing. If you guys were beauty bloggers, I would tell you to use Pinterest. If you guys were trying to sell cookbooks, I'd tell you to use Pinterest. Trying to grow as a local small business, Pinterest isn't going to be the name of the game for me. I've yet to meet a stylist who's like, oh, I grew my business on Pinterest. So it's just not something that I coach to. That being said, you might find another coach who has great advice for you there. It's just not going to be me on that one. Nicole says, I'm having a hard time taking photos of my clients and I was trying to figure out what it is. I think it's because I don't really like my work or the way they're choosing to wear their hair. The reason for the photos are to showcase our work on social media, which I haven't done yet because I don't take good photos. I don't want to show what I don't like, not sure what to do next. I'm a huge introvert who seeks perfection and sees all my flaws, frustrated with myself right now. Okay, so girlfriend, I'm a huge introvert who seeks perfection and sees all my flaws. If I did a poll of everybody on the call right now, we would have 15 people raise their hands. So trust me, I see you, I feel you, I hear you on that. But we can't allow that to cripple us. So my first inclination is if you feel like you don't like the work you're doing, you have a target market issue. So go back to module 1, review your brand, and make sure that you are doing everything you need to be doing to attract the right clients. And I understand that it's the thing like what came first, the chicken or the egg? And if you don't have those great social media photos, how are you supposed to attract the brand? I totally get all of that. So what you need to do is practice getting good at taking pictures on social media. You might have to enlist your daughter, your spouse, your best friend, your mom, your brothers, somebody to stand in for you so that you can get used to angles, using your ring light, using your smartphone, and posing. That's half the battle. Forget your clients for a second. You have to get used to being a photographer because it's now a part of your job, right? So practice, practice, practice. You can even do it at home in your kitchen. These people don't have to come to your salon for you to get good at using your smartphone. Learn to take the pictures, learn to use the ring light, learn how to pose people, learn what looks good, then take those skills into the salon and just start doing it. Stop making the excuse of my clients aren't good enough, I'm not good enough. You won't be good enough until you get more practice. So go ahead and just start taking the pictures. If you need to start recruiting model clients so that you can get some photos of guests that are going to look good on your Instagram and Facebook, then do it. But it needs to start happening. You're not going to start attracting the right clients until you start taking those pictures. So practice, 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 and go back to module 1 for sure. Sean says, we're looking to do a price increase October 1st. 2 of my stylists are always booked out weeks, and 3 of my stylists are booked out the week before. What do you think is a good percentage of increase? I was thinking 10% for 2 of the busy stylists and 5 for the other 3. What are your thoughts? First of all, my thought is salon-wide price increases are a thing of the past, and it's not something that you should do. It's not something I would ever coach to. I have seen salon-wide price increases kill clientele. Don't do it. If you increase somebody's prices before their books can withstand it, it can be career crushing. So we don't want to do that. I know some other people coach to it. I've never seen it work out properly, so I wouldn't do it. I would go back to the pricing module, go through the spreadsheet that I give you, price out all of your stylists and where they should be, make sure that they're working within their proper price point, and for those who have earned an increase, go for it. So your stylists who are booked out at least 3 weeks and seeing 5 to 6 new referrals a month, they can be increased. If they're not hitting all those factors, then they're not ready yet. But step one is to balance their pricing, and you have to do that in the pricing module. Once that is done, then you can decide if it's time for a price increase. And don't do it based on percentage. Do it based on the ratios that I share with you in that chart. So I give you the entire scale. Do it exactly the way I lay it out in the pricing module. That's how you want to do it. And for your stylists who are only booked out the week before, they're not ready. It won't be sustainable for them. So go back, look at that pricing module, and follow the worksheet. I promise there's a reason why we do it this way, and it's highly effective. Okay, Sean also says, my business is growing fast. We now have 5 stylists very busy behind the chair and myself. We're booking people out a few weeks just to get them in, which I can't complain about. The business is asking for more help and I want to give it. I'm looking to do a minor addition to add more stations, adding more stylists, add more assistants. It's becoming a lot for me to handle with a team of 8 plus 40 hours a week behind the chair. I give myself time every week to get my Thrivers done, reflecting on my business and starting to implement, but I feel like I fall short on other tasks that need to get done through the week. What are your thoughts on hiring a manager who can help me on the daily, manage the employees, and focus on the business? I think it's great. I think that we all get to a place in our business where we need to have help. If you go back and listen to, I think it's britsiva.com/035 or 036, I have a podcast episode that's all about how to hire somebody to manage your social media for you. I know you're not looking specifically for social media management, but a lot of those principles apply. Definitely listen to that. But I want you to sit down and really think about what you can truly delegate. So if you're going to put somebody in a role called manager, you make sure you're not hiring an executive assistant. So an executive assistant is somebody you're just going to throw tasks at. Hey, can you do the order today? Hey, can you post this on social media? Hey, can you make sure so-and-so knows this and that? That's just an executive assistant, okay? If you're going to hire a salon manager, what you say is, I want you to run social media, order the inventory, and tell me when stylists are ready for price increases, and then you walk away and you let that person run your business. I know how scary that is, but if we're going to call somebody a manager, that's what we want them to do. So in the role as salon director, my salon owner had no idea when somebody was ready for a price increase or not. I told him. That's what somebody in a management role is going to do for you. So decide if you're really in a place where you want to kind of release the reins like that, or if you'd rather just have maybe a salon coordinator or an executive assistant who you can give some one-off tasks to kind of test the waters, and they can give you a little bit of support while you kind of get to a place where you're ready to delegate in a bigger way. Marie says, our salon is a very relaxed and fun atmosphere. It's just myself and the owner. Because of the overly friendly environment, my boss continually interrupts my conversations with my clients. Oftentimes I give her a just a minute kind of figure gesture, but I would like to deal with this moving forward in a more effective way. We do not have an overly formal salon atmosphere, so it may be off-putting for me to completely curb her style. We are very interactive with our clients collaboratively, and it is this that makes our style unique and welcoming to our clients. They feel comfortable with both of us consulting each other with their services. Teamwork around here. If anyone is not available, it's all good. They can see each other. I'm most concerned as my funnel takes over and I have a steady onslaught of new guests that I can accomplish the consultation without disruption. It's not done out of rudeness, just that our vibe is very interactional and open. Okay, so I get it. So what I'm going to say is you need to sit down with your salon owner and come to an agreement. So say, I love the partnership we have here in the salon. Our clients love that they feel comfortable talking to each of us, that we have this great partnership, that it's more than just a relationship between one stylist and a client. But say, can we have a guideline that during the first guest meeting, during that initial consultation, we don't interrupt each other? If I'm a new client and I come in to meet with you and your boss or whomever starts piping in on our conversation, I'm going to be totally turned off. So you need to have that boundary. So I would just sit down with the owner. That's not asking too much, and say, I love our vibe, but during new guest consultations, can we each just kind of allow each other to have that space and privacy? I think it would be so smart, and I think having that open communication would be helpful. There's actually an episode coming out about this next week. It'll be at britsiva.com/038 when it's released, but that's going to help you as well for sure. Kelly says, I'm going through the Define Your Target Market worksheet. Your first question to us is, what is your specialty, or what is one service you could do all day long and still be happy? My question to you is, how do you even pick? I say I specialize in women's hair, but then I think, is that too broad? First of all, that's way too broad, way too broad. Then she says, and I think I would love to do root touch-ups all day, every day, but I also wouldn't mind adding a little balayage to someone's base color. I'm just jumbled and lost. Any advice on how to choose one specialty? Yes. So read back what you just wrote to me. You said, I would love to do a root touch-up and cut all day, every day. I wouldn't mind doing a little balayage. Can you see the difference in that? One thing you would love to do and one thing you wouldn't mind. And I know you're like, oh, but that's just the way I typed it. No, that's subliminally the way your mind feels about it. If I said, let's just build you a balayage clientele where all you do is balayage all day, you'd be like, heck no. Because you would love to do root touch-ups and cuts all day and wouldn't mind a little balayage. So that's your target market. Your target market is likely women who are 30 to 45, root touch-ups, or maybe it's older, 35 to 50, I don't know. You're going to have to decide that. Root touch-ups and cuts, the balayage is going to come. I think that's what scares people about target market, is they think that when we talk like that, you're going to eliminate this huge segment of clientele. That's never going to happen. But the more targeted you are and the more focused you are, the more you'll grow and build. Gone are the days when clients want a stylist who's a jack of all trades. They want a master. So choose to be a master at something. You'll still get a little bit of everything, but look at those words, like what you just told me, and really think about what would be ideal for you. My target market was that too. I knew that my bread was buttered with root touch-ups and cuts. As much as I love doing foils, and I still did plenty of foils, it was way too much work for not nearly as much money. I busted my butt and I didn't make much more. So I chose the same target market that you're leaning towards, and it served me really well. So I think you actually have your answer. Just look at that phrasing. I think there's a lot to be said there. Corey says, when we talk about social media and what attracts, as an owner of a blended salon, am I responsible for posting for stylists, or should they be doing that on their own? Yes and no. All of your stylists need to have their own social media accounts. They should be growing as individuals. But then, like we talked about at the beginning of this call, you need social media profiles for your salon as well. So the salon has its own Instagram, its own Facebook, and its own website for sure. You choose to run that, and you choose what gets posted. Because remember what Sunny's question about was at the beginning of the call? She was saying she's unable to attract new stylists. It's because of her social media and her website. So I'm assuming you want to be a salon owner for the next 5, 10, 15 years. You're going to need to attract new stylists. I'm sure of it, over that period of time. And if your social doesn't look great, you're not going to be able to do it. So you're going to be collecting photos and videos and whatever, articles, whatever, from your clients and posting those on your social media. You are responsible for doing that 100%. You're also responsible for creating a culture and a vibe and a brand for your salon and making sure that everything you post is in line with that. I hope that that makes sense. Okay, last question, guys, from Mashana. She says, I'm doing the Website Academy. I'm up to the part in my website and module where you show us how to add a subscribers box. I'm getting confused between a contact form and a subscriber box. Do I need both on my site? I prefer to keep the site streamlined with just one of these. I've been capturing emails and I know the importance of them. I'm just trying to figure out which is more important. Okay, so a subscriber box is for people who are like, I'm interested, but I don't really have a question or anything to say. I just want to learn more. They will subscribe to your newsletter, right? We talk about doing monthly newsletters in the Retain and Expand module. So that's how they get on that list. A contact box would be something like this. I found you and I have a question. Let me ask you a question. This is a contact box. A subscribe box is, I don't have a question. I just want to follow you and hang out. I think both are super important. So I do think that you have both. I don't think it's one or the other. I think they serve two totally different purposes. So I hope that that makes sense. Okay, that wraps up our questions for the month. I hope you guys have a great rest of your August, and we'll see you in September. Bye, guys.